YouTube with Zam and shit, Boys and I'm back with another one. In this video we got Gervontay Tank Davis's trainer Kenny Ellis says Shakur Stevenson is in protective custody and they scared. So it's been a lot of talking. Kenny at one point, Kenny and Shakur were on IG Live together, I believe, FaceTime call or some shit, and they were conversing. And Kenny asked him, "Would he take a fight for 6 mil?" And Shakur said yes. Um, I don't agree. They say Shakur in protective custody. He signed with Eddie. Eddie is known for making big fights between black fighters not come to fruition. I mean, he has one coming up between AJ and Josh, between AJ and Dubois, but he didn't want it to be Deontay versus AJ. But with that being said, without further ado, let's get it, man.
What had happened with the negotiations with Shakur?
Man, I don't even want to go back and forth with that. If they grown man, Shakur could have fought. He got protected custody. He ain't had to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the end of that.
What do you what do you think about his opponent, Joe Cordina, two division champion, coming up, moving up into weight, got knocked out in his last appearance on a rehard card. Tell me, what do you think about Joe Cordina? I seen you on promoting it on your Instagram as well.
Yeah, he got upset. I was really speaking like big fight. Get your tickets now. Put asses in the seats. Keep him undefeated. So if him and Tank do fight, it'll be the value of the fight will still be there. But as far as the opponent, I just heard he came off a loss and he had hand surgery as well on his right hand.
So recently, Gervontay trainer Kenny Ellis came out stating that Gervontay Davis may not return in November because he cannot find an opponent to fight. Everyone is ducking him. Kenny Ellis said, quote, "At this point, Gervontay Davis is the most feared lightweight in the history of the sport. Promoters, managers, and fighters are scared to face him." End of the quote. For Gervontay trainer to say all of that, while Gervontay is the face of boxing, the lotto ticket, the money ticket, that tells me a lot of fighters left and right has already turned down the Gervontay fight for November. And that's why Gervontay trainer Kenny Ellis said plans may change. Gervontay might not be able to fight in November. Apparently, he would like to. However, he can't find a legit opponent that's willing to step up to the table. Now, what makes it even more shocking is that Gervontay is the payday. Imagine everyone ducking Canelo. It will never happen. So, for people to duck Gervontay while being the payday, while being the bag, that shows you how good Gervontay really is. That's why Lomachenko didn't want to fight him for his biggest payday, is because the risk is too high. The risk.
Yeah, man. What Aki said is facts. People not ducking the payday. You know, people not ducking Floyd. People not ducking Canelo. And he said people shouldn't be ducking Tank, even though they are. Lomachenko recently came out with some shit like Tank was BSing in negotiations. They wasn't being serious. I thought he wasn't motivated to fight. Now it's that they was playing around in negotiations. You gotta pick a struggle, bro. Cause now it sound like somebody lying in that Lomachenko account. But Tank is a dangerous fighter, but boxing is a dangerous game. You know, you gotta attack danger. You know, you gotta attack danger. You gotta attack that shit. So let's get it.
Is you going to become a meme. You see, when you fight Tank, you don't just have to worry about losing. Now you got to worry about becoming a meme, getting put to sleep while Gervontay is doing the backflip, then waking up the next day being all over social media being a meme. That's what you got to worry about. Clearly, that's what Lomachenko is worried about, along with everyone that turned down the Gervontay fight for November. Now, what Gervontay and his team should be doing is name dropping the fighters that are turning down the fight. Name dropping the fighters that are turning down their biggest payday. The public deserves to know, and the public are the ones who are going to apply pressure on these fighters to step up to the table. We all know Lomachenko turned down the Gervontay payday. However, we don't know anybody else that ducked Gervontay. I mean, we heard that Gervontay sent Shakur a message like, hey, are you interested to fight? And Shakur said, yes, come back with an offer. So, what happened after that? And who else turned down the fight with Gervontay? If Gervonta team is not letting the public know that type of information, then they are doing him a disservice while he's being ducked to the point where Gervonta trainer is claiming that he's the most ducked lightweight in the history of the sport. By doing so, that really
Yeah. Um. It's very annoying. That's the word I want to use. To watch these guys, you know, do more fighting on social media than inside the ring. I see all these platforms, all these guys on these platforms talking crazy to each other, talking crazy shit, but not fighting at all. They doing Twitter wars, Twitter spars, but they're not fighting. Tank was supposed to send Shakur a contract, the same contract he sent Loma. He should have sent that motherfucker straight to Shakur after Loma turned it down, bro, and called they bluff. And then he should, or he could have unified with the other guy in the division. I forgot his name. He a Russian guy, I believe. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, Tank had three different opportunities to unify, but he didn't get any of them. So either they're really scared of him, or somebody in that Tank camp is lying, bro. It's getting suspect.
releases the pressure on Gervonta Davis to fight pretty much whoever the heck he wants next, since everyone is ducking him. At the end of the day, you have to stay active. For example, if David Benavidez, David Morrell, Bivol, and Beterbiev all turn down a fight with Canelo Alvarez, then guess what? Canelo fighting Edgar Berlanga will be completely fine, since at that point, everyone is ducking the smoke, everyone is ducking his payday, so he has to stay active. But the problem with Canelo is the contrary. Canelo is ducking every single good fight that the fans want to see. Canelo's avoiding the David Benavidez, the David Morrell, the Bivol rematch, the Beterbiev, in order to cherry pick Edgar Berlanga, a fight no one wants to see. That's the problem. Therefore, Tank has to let it be known. If everyone is ducking the payday, then yeah, of course, at that point, he can fight whoever he wants to fight, rightfully so, without receiving any backlash for doing so. Nevertheless, at the moment in time,
Look at all the victims left in Tank's week. Um, this might be Pedraza. I'm not sure. Pitbull, Mario Barrios, Gamboa, Ryan Garcia, Rolo Romero, and Leo Santa Cruz. This is the most devastating one of all. His body went limp for a few minutes. People thought he was gone. Tank did him bad. It was terrible, bro.
fight whoever he wants to fight, rightfully so, without receiving any backlash for doing so. Nevertheless, at the moment in time, I can honestly say Jaron Ennis is the most ducked fighter in the sport of boxing. However, for Gervonta to be ducked, that's even worse than Jaron Ennis because Gervonta is already the face of boxing. How you gonna duck Floyd? How you gonna duck Canelo? How you gonna duck your payday? How you gonna duck the bag? Then what the heck are you in the sport for? That's what it sounds like ducking Gervonta right now. If you duck and tank, you might as well need to retire. How you gonna duck the biggest bag for the biggest legacy day? You can't be called a fighter at that point, which is why the pub as well need to retire. How you gonna duck the biggest bag for the biggest legacy day? You can't be called a fighter at that point, which is why the public deserves to know who are these fighters that are turning down the Gervonta fight. Like
Man, anybody turn on the Javante fight is a coward. All I know is Tank didn't send no contract to Devin, because Devin going to accept that motherfucker immediately. But with that being said, man, like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're on the road to 2K. Till next time, man.